Howdy friends, What's This Cheese continues. It's our monthly series sponsored by Formaticum that looks at all different types of cheeses. Today we're going to talk about a creamy cheese that I kind of grew up with, but I didn't eat a lot of because I thought it was kind of scary, so I thought that would be a perfect exploration for today's topic. Today's sponsor is Formaticum, and they are the sponsor of our What's This Cheese sub-series. Formaticum makes a paper that is specially engineered to wrap your cheese in. It looks like this, and the function of it is that when you buy cheese at the grocery store, nice cheeses, they're alive, they need to breathe. The problem is that when you wrap it in plastic wrap or tin foil or put it in a Tupperware, it doesn't have the opportunity to truly breathe, and the shelf life actually deteriorates much more rapidly. Their paper is specially engineered to let the cheese breathe, which will keep it alive longer in your fridge, which means that the investment of a good piece of cheese is not going to go by the wayside so rapidly. Check them out online at formaticum.com and get your hands on some of their cheese paper today. Alright, so today we are talking about ricotta. Ricotta! It is an Italian sheep's or cow's milk cheese that's usually soft and very creamy. You'll often find it inside of dishes like Italian cheesecakes or the filling of cannolis, or you'll even find it inside the layers of everyone's favorite dish, lasagna. Ricotta literally translates in Italian to re-cooked, and it is a whey-based cheese. Remember we talked about curds and whey, and that an acid is introduced to milk or some dairy, separating the curds and the whey. Most cheese that you buy are the curds that get pressed together into a solid block. However, with ricotta, they're actually taking the whey, the byproduct, re-cooking it, re-curdling it, and extracting even more curds from that whey. That is traditional ricotta, kind of. Kind of, because when you go to the grocery store to buy ricotta, what you're buying is technically that, but it's also a lot of other things like guar and stabilizers and gums and things that you don't necessarily want to be eating and shouldn't be in a natural cheese. And so technically, if you want to split hairs, ricotta is not technically a true cheese. It is a cheese byproduct. It is the byproduct of the whey of cheese. That isn't to say that you can't make ricotta out of some dairy, though I guess technically it wouldn't be official ricotta, but it could still be really good. So today we're going to make imposter ricotta. This is much more similar to the Indian cheese paneer, but you know what, it tastes basically the same, and it's probably going to taste a lot better than anything you will buy at your grocery store that's been sitting on the shelf for a long period of time. And you're not going to believe how easy it is to make. First, heat 1 gallon of homogenized milk and 1 teaspoon of salt in a large pot over medium-high heat, stirring frequently with a rubber spatula to prevent scorching. You'll want to cook this until it reaches a temperature of 165 to 185 degrees. Any range right there is going to be fine. You should use a probe thermometer if you don't have it. Once the milk starts to ripple just before it comes to a simmer, that's the time that you want to cut it off. Then remove the pot from the heat and, using a rubber spatula, slowly stir in about a half a cup of lemon juice. If you're going to be using this cheese in a savory application, you can also use the same volume of white vinegar. The lemon juice is going to impart a slightly acidic, a slightly lemony taste, which is really nice if that's what you're going for. You can also use vinegar if you don't. Allow the milk to stand undisturbed for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the milk will separate into solid curds and you'll see translucent liquid whey. If after 5 minutes the curds have not separated from the whey, you can add 2 more tablespoons of lemon juice and wait another 5 minutes. And if it still haven't separated, then add 2 more tablespoons after that. The purpose of this, or the reason for this, is that there are different acidic levels in all different lemons, and so the actual acidic volume in the lemons that you might have had might not have been high enough to curdle the milk from the whey. Now line a colander or a large strainer with a double layer of cheesecloth and set it over the sink. Use a large spoon or a skimmer and carefully spoon out the curds into the colander. Discard the whey. Now, using a rubber spatula, gently fold the curds over themselves until liquid no longer runs out of the colander and the curds have the texture of grainy cream cheese. Use this immediately or store it in an airtight container and refrigerate for up to 3 days. If you want this to be softer, you can just use it right away. If you would like it to be a firmer ricotta, you can keep it in the cheesecloth and let it drain overnight. The longer you let it drain, the more firm it will become. So that is how to make ricotta. Check out our sponsor, formaticum.com, and get your hands on their cheese paper. And if you have something you want me to cover, you can post it in the comments below. And take some pictures of the recipes that you've been creating and post them to our Facebook page by going to danieldelaney.com/Facebook. I will see you there.